What is happening, Vatos? Today we're gonna go meet up with one of my buddies, Jello, that Evo all you guys love to hate on so much. Have some food. I have no idea what today consists of. Alright dudes, we just got to Starbucks. He's not here yet. At least I didn't see a bright ass yellow Evo yet. I didn't see him yet though. But I think I'm gonna get something to drink. Wait for him. It's on my car. Alright, so I met up with Jello. We're rolling out right now to Pho, or the Pho place, whatever. It's like to the left or something, I don't know. But this dude's in front of me right now. Check it out. Hey, Bumblebee in the flesh. Alright, we got done eating. We're admiring the Jello machine and his new wheel setup. Jello crashed because of an Asian person?
Yes.
Yes! You really did though, that's crazy. That's a funny story, dude.
It is.
Alright, super quick little lunch, dinner, whatever the hell it'd be considered, with Jello. He's gonna, we might go to a car meet right now later. He had to take Carlos home, one of his homies. Well, hopefully we're gonna go to a meet later. Hold on, this is so hard to vlog and drive. Alright, it's been hours later now. Last minute, my buddy Ronnie just messaged me on Instagram that he's working at 5150 now. The guy that has a crazy red Evo 8 that he's building up. I've never been to 5150. They're one of the best SoCal Evo, I don't even know if that's the thing. One of the best Evo shops in Southern California that you could ever take to, especially with the Evo 10. John, the tuner there, is really, really good at tuning them. And I've always wanted to go, never been. I don't really have an excuse to. I haven't been with any homies that have gotten tuned to 5150, and I don't have an Evo, so. But we're gonna go over there right now, see what's up with this red Evo, and check out the shop, because I know they do a lot of Evos, GTRs. We just got to 5150. It's like pitch black outside. I'm trying to call my homie Ronnie right now to see what to do. I didn't mention either, but stupid tire pressure light came on when I was driving over here. But this is the famous 5150. I'm thinking it's this right here. I don't know yet. I think so. Could be wrong.
Hi, brother.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Good, good.
Busy? It's just you here?
Welcome. It's just me.
Oh, damn, we're in Ronnie's garage. Damn, GTR. Damn, this is crazy, dude. It looks, I feel like it's bigger, like in person than it is in videos. In videos, it looks small.
Yeah, it's just a few areas can run.
Dude, this is a ridiculous amount of cars.
Yeah, there's more Evos outside. And
Yeah, that's crazy.
you remember where we left off?
Yeah,
It was at, the same point. But I took the transfer case out from the bottom, and it took me like 20 minutes to drop it.
Oh, really?
I just dropped it because I have a lift down here.
Yeah.
So we actually got here just on time because everything's pulled off already.
Okay,
I
dope.
just loosened the main bolts, so we're literally gonna uncover whatever is hiding underneath this.
Yeah, you were telling me last time we were together, you were saying you thought it was a main bearing.
Yeah.
That you spun a main.
Has to be a main. The rods weren't spun, so it has to be a main. It has to be something that got stuck in there, like a piece of dirt or something. Usually, the mains, usually a rod bearing will spin.
Oh, okay.
Because the oil gets fed through the main galley to the crank, and then the crank journals basically feed the rod bearings. So rod bearings are usually first to go. It's just how it is.
Yeah, it's just common. Yeah.
Especially number 4 because it's further away from the oil pump.
Oh, really?
So when the oil pump's getting starved, number 4 will usually go. But yeah, it was surprising, honestly, man. Last time it caught me by surprise, man. I honestly thought it's gonna be a rod bearing, but.
Yeah.
Or is it? I ordered my pistons, by the way.
Yeah, you were telling me.
The STMs.
Yeah, that's dope.
11.5 to 1. We'll see how much power we can make on that.
That's crazy, dude.
Oh, check this out. Look at what came out of my transmission.
Oh, what is that?
It's a gear. One of the gears, or a few of the gears, got sheared.
Jeez.
Yeah. We'll do a video on that because I'm gonna take the transmission apart.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna build my 5-speed that I have.
Oh yeah, you were telling me with carbon, right? Carbon synchro.
Synchros,
Yeah, synchros. Nice.
Yeah, I already have the quote and everything ready to go. I just gotta pay for it.
Nice.
And depending on, this is why I haven't ordered the parts, because I didn't know if I needed a crank or not. So this will determine
if you need it.
If I need it or not. Yeah.
Because you're telling me last time we were together, you said you don't want to cut the crank.
Yeah, if I have to cut the crank. But the thing is, I caught it very fast, so
it might be okay.
may be okay. We'll see. Micro polish, it really doesn't take much material away.
Okay.
But if I do that, I'll have him do it on all. So, you know, if he takes like 1,000 off or whatever just to smooth it out, I'll have him take 1,000 off of every single journal.
Right.
Just oil clearance is the same.
Let's see what.
Ow.
Yeah, it looks a little scarred. How is it in your opinion?
Let me take the bottom side out. I think this is the one that's spun. Yep. So you can see the first layer of bearing material, it's eaten up. So that's the second layer. There's three layers. The third layer is the babbitt, which is like a bronze material. It'll actually, that's why when people take off like their oil pans, they see like bronze material in there.
Right.
That's the third layer.
Oh.
That's when you drive it like 200-300 miles after it spins the bearing.
Yeah.
This is the second layer. This isn't good either, but this one, as you can see, went through all the layers. Yeah, because this one's, yeah. You see how it's like spinning in the housing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the other ones aren't even rotating. Not as much as that one, at least.
Look at the bottom ones.
Oh.
Yeah, they're all like loose too.
How is it building a 4B11 versus like a 4G?
So easy.
Is it? Same thing?
Same shit.
Inline 4. We'll focus right now. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, oh wow, that's horrible. Yeah, as soon as it went clear, that's pretty bad.
This is actually just like the cylinders. So when you put studs instead of the bolts, it usually distorts it. So you take it to the machine shop and it's called a main alignment bore. It's called align boring. So what they do is they put the girdle on, they torque the girdle down, and then they pass a honing stone through it, and they hone it. Just like, you know, if it's out of round, they hone it, just like a cylinder. So over here, if you look at these, you see how they all have crosshatches?
Yeah.
Besides this guy. So if it spins, it just takes that crosshatch out.
Oh.
You see what I mean? Look at how smooth that is, and then look at these. They have crosshatch.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
That's definitely weird.
That is pretty weird.
Again, it's a little hard to see when you catch it fast. But if I drove it like another 100 miles, you would clearly be able to see. And if you look at my crank, I'll actually mic the crank right now, and you can take a video of that too.
Okay.
But if you look at the crank, I see literally nothing that looks threatening at all. Another thing you want to check for with these cranks is, now this is a 88mm stroke. This is an OEM crank. These don't have a tendency to crack, but if one of the journals cracks, it'll spin a bearing. So that's something the machine shop usually checks. This, they magnaflux it, they put this dye, and then they look at it with a black light, and if there's a crack,
it'll
dye
show.
will go in and it'll show.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so, but you know, this is just for my own thing. If it's cracked, it would actually be cool if it's cracked, because I can show you.
Yeah. Well, this is all very educational in general. Dude, even a lot of people, when we made the last video, were like, dude, no one's really gone in depth with it before.
Yeah,
I see, like, you were really,
I really liked
that
video.
You were really confident, like, about, you know, no one's done this before, and there's a lot of people that took notice too, like, of everything you said, which was cool.
It was cool, man. I mean, I honestly really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, that was a lot of information.
Dude, that day I was hungover too, man. Like, half the shit I was saying wasn't making sense.
Yeah.
Because I watched the video and I'm like, why am I stuttering? I was so hungover. Remember I was telling you?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm fucked up right now. Anyway, kind of like engine building. So.
Oh, it's a part of it.
Yeah. So
A piece.
these are the tools that I was telling you about. So this is a dial bore gauge. So this thing measures like cylinder bores, bearing clearances. I measure with this. I measure like taper and out of round, piston to wall with this tool. But before I use that tool, I need these guys. These are micrometers. It's one of those things, one of those investments that you cry once and you just fucking pay for it and you don't have to worry about it again.
Yeah.
It's like $400.
Oh, damn.
But this basically measures down to the tenth of a thousandth.
Jeez.
So of an inch. So look, 4 decimal places. So it's super accurate.
Right.
So when you measure oil clearances, when you do it with a plastic gauge, what plastic gauge is, it's like this wax strip that you lay on the journal when it's dry. And then either the girdle or whatever you're measuring, if you're measuring rod bearing oil clearance, you put the rod cap on there and you torque it down with the bearings in there and you take it off and it squishes the wax. And then there's this little piece of paper, reference points that you can put next to the wax and it'll tell you how much clearance it has.
Damn.
But that's not accurate.
Right.
Because it's wax. I mean,
yeah,
like
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Deform or something.
You can do it like 3-4 times and you'll get different readings almost every time. And it can be like, I don't want to say a huge difference, but if you build engines for a living, or if you do it more than once at least, you should get like decent tools. I mean, you can even buy cheap micrometers and they're better than
the wax.
Plastic gauge. Yeah, it's called the plastic gauge. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mic the main journals first, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure in 3 different spots to make sure that it's not out of round. And I'm also gonna measure 2 spots from here, so here and here, just to see if it's like tapered or not. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to see if it's a perfect circle again, like if it's like a completely round journal. And then depending on the reading I get, because I forgot, I can't remember off the top of my head, I have to go home and check this, or I can check on my phone. But the factory service manual will tell you brand new what size the journal needs to be. So remember when I was telling you it could be cranked, it could be cut, or it could be polished,
right,
in the last video. So when I get this measurement right now, I'm gonna write it down, and then I can go home and I can open the factory service manual and check it and make sure it's the right size, make sure it's not machined down.
Yeah.
Because yeah, well, that was standard bearings, blocked off oil squirters. That's just a recipe for disaster, honestly, man. Here's how you read a micrometer. I'm just gonna do a quick demonstration here. So you put it on the journal, and there's 2 levers. There's this, and then there's this. The second one, the smaller one, is a ratchet. What that means is as soon as it sees some resistance, it doesn't let you crank it anymore. So it just takes up that air gap, and then you have a perfect measurement. Some micrometers have this, some don't. Some don't work that well. These are pretty pricey micrometers, so they have it. It works decently well. Okay, so I do that, and I make sure, you know, I take out the air gap, and then I close the mic, I lock it. Now I can pull it. And what I can do is I can just go over and make sure it fits on the journal, snug, but it's not scoring it, and this tells me that I have a perfect reading. Okay. So now, this is how you read it. So this micrometer reads from 2 to 3 inches. Okay. So we already know we're 2 inches. Okay. So each one of these numbers is 1/100th of an inch, okay? So this is 0, 1, 2, so we can't see the 3. So that's 2.2, okay? If you notice, I know this is kind of like pretty small, but can you see those lines?
Yeah.
Okay. So each one of those lines is 25 thousandths of an inch, okay?
Right.
So let me write this down before I get confused. Usually you do that when you're assembling a motor. Obviously everything's clean, right now. Right now my hands are dirty, the workplace is dirty, but that's just because we're trying to get out of here as fast as we can, because I have an hour drive back home. Right. So do you. Sort of. Okay. So number 1 is 2.2. So 2.225, and then these are tenths of a thousand. So since the second line can't be seen, that means it's 17. So 2.225 plus 17. 25 plus 17. Since I'm a dumbass. Somebody's probably watching this and calling me an idiot. So 2.242. And then this one is the tenth of the thousand. So we'll do another video and I'll just like talk about this because it's kind of tedious. So anyway, the final measurement is 2 inches and 242 thousandths and 3 10,000ths. So it literally, I just measured it to the last decimal point, the 4th decimal point. So I'm gonna do it again I'm gonna do it a little towards the edge. Okay. So now if this reading is different, it means the journal is out of round. Or, I'm sorry, not out of round. It's tapered. Because it goes from here to like that. So. And again, we got 17 again. So what I like to do is I like to take 3 measurements. And as long as I get 3 back to back, the exact same one, that means, you know, my measurement is pretty accurate. So if you can see, this one lines up with the 2, not the 3. I took it 3 times, so it's a 1/10 of a thousandth off, so that's nothing to be worried about. Then I'll take another reading over here with this. That's a very, very small difference that I'm not worried about. To the numbers in the service manual and see if it's cut. So if the service manual says, for instance, it needs to be 2.2453 and I have 2.2423, it means there's like, it's cut 3 thousandths, or it's like micro polish 3 thousandths or whatever.
Okay.
So that would mean it's a cut crank, or at least polished down. Like I said, if it's a cut crank, I don't have the service manual, so I can't check it right now. But if it's a cut crank, I'll just toss it. I'll just, you know,
get a new
can
one.
use it, but with a big power, you know, big power car, you don't. I don't like to do it, just because you're spending so much time and money. You know, if something looks off or you don't feel comfortable with it, you usually just go ahead and you know, get a new one.
Yeah, you want to do it right the first time.
But honestly, to be quite honest with you, I think I'm gonna reuse this crank because there's literally no scratches whatsoever on any of these journals. This is as perfect of a crank as you can get. I mean, if you buy a used crank, it's probably gonna be more beat up than this, just because it was well taken care of, you know. And it has 2,000 miles.
Yeah, I was gonna point that out. It only has 2,000 miles on
The
them.
crank doesn't.
Well,
The crank's 114,000 miles old.
Right.
You know, but unless they use like a core crank out of somebody else's car. When you zoom in, there is literally nothing I can feel with my fingers. And with these, you do the finger test. If you see a scratch, I mean, I don't even see a scratch.
yeah,
So
I was gonna say.
what you see here, like these lines, you can barely feel them with your finger, but this thing's gonna get micro polished. So it's like a sanding belt that they put on it, and they literally just polish it down like a thousandths, and it's like shiny mirror. It looks like a mirror.
Smooth.
You know, gets the mirror finish. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go home, compare those numbers. Crank is most likely usable. That makes me happy. Like I said, I'm ordering my CDI box. May or may not get different rods. Maybe go aluminum rod. But everything else I'm gonna keep the same. I mean, obviously I'm gonna keep the studs. The head studs, I'm gonna keep the 625s. Honestly, on a 64mm, even on a 68mm, you really don't need any bigger studs unless you're running like 55 plus pounds of boost. Then the next step above a 625 custom AJRP head stud is a 1/2 inch head studs or 11mm head studs. So at that point, what you have to do is you have to literally drill the holes in the block and drill them bigger, and then modify the head. So drill the head as well so it's bigger, so it holds the 1/2 inch stud. But you can throw like 70, 80, 90 pounds of boost, and well, 90 pounds of boost, the block will probably crack.
That's crazy. 70 pounds of boost.
Yeah. I've never done this, so I don't want to sound like I've built motors that have taken that much power.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I know you can throw that much boost at it and it won't lift.
Yeah, because that's a long head stud. That's huge.
Yeah, they're thicker.
Yeah.
What else? Let me think. So they make this company in Australia, Bullet Racing, I think, they make billet blocks, and they're supposed to be good for 100 pounds of boost. If you use the thicker head stuff.
Yeah.
They already come drilled like that.
Yeah, the combo.
It has like no wear whatsoever, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Especially with my clutch.
You have a quartermaster, right?
Yeah, it's right there. I took it apart actually. That's actually the race flywheel, so that's supposed to take 900 foot-pounds of torque.
Wow.
900 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, that's
fucking insane.
That is insane.
540 foot-pounds of torque. You'll
Yeah.
get a ride in it soon.
Yeah, that, yeah.
Oh, and another secret. This is gonna be pretty cool. So this car is actually gonna get tuned on flex fuel on the stock ECU, which you don't see on Evo 8s a lot. There's this company called Fitronics, and they make a device that basically piggybacks into the ECU, but that's not what we're gonna use. We're gonna use an ethanol content analyzer gauge, and the wire that basically shows you the ethanol content taps into the fuel tank pressure differential sensor. It's a sensor that tests the evap emission. So basically, it's an emissions thing. I'm not going to get into detail, but we don't use that anymore. It's not needed. So what we do is we literally take that harness off, we tap that gauge wire into it, and at the same time the ECU can basically, there's a patch you do on the stock ECU, and the tuner can read it and patch it with flex fuel tables and actually tell it at this like voltage it has E100, at this voltage it has E0. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're always, even when you get pump gas, it's always gonna have at least 10% ethanol in it, 8 to 10% ethanol. But the reason I'm gonna do that is not because I wanna like go to every E85 station. I already told you this. I want to go to a Propel.
Yeah.
I want to do that because I want to be able to run E90, the Ignite Red that I was telling you about.
Right.
That way I don't have to do 2 tunes. And that way, for whatever fucking reason, if I have to drive somewhere, if I want to put pump gas, it's going to adjust on the fly.
Right.
That way if I get tired of pump E85, I can always put like a little E98 or whatever, mix it in. You can get crazy with it, and the computer literally adjusts. So you never get tired of the power. It's not always the same.
Right.
Like literally every day can be different depending on how much fuel. And it's, ease of mind, because let's say the car is tuned on E80, right? You get E72 or whatever, the tune's off already.
Yes.
It's not exactly what you got. So it's just for peace of mind. I can get the gauge for a good price. I'm obviously doing all the installs.
Right.
Also, the car had an AC compressor and the whole AC system, but no Freon, and I honestly don't care for it, so I'm gonna pull that off. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the same turbo kit. The turbo kit's the kit itself, the hot parts, is gonna get ceramic coated. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to send the turbo out, so I'm just gonna try to flush it. Just like the bearing cartridge in it, I'm gonna try to flush it so it doesn't have any residual oil in there. You usually do that when you spin a bearing really bad, but like we saw, it wasn't that bad.
Like you said, you caught it early.
Yeah, I caught it, but I'm still gonna get a new oil cooler just in case. As you can see, this is one of the bearings that got damaged really bad, and this is 1.92 millimeters. And we go to like another bearing, like this one, that's not as bad. 1.95 millimeters, or 4 millimeters. So that's 0.2 millimeters, but it's definitely wear. Look, like at the fat point, it's 195.
Yeah.
So, bearings definitely got damaged. To be honest with you, it's still surprising to me why it was so loud, even though it wasn't that bad, you know what I mean? But I guess that's just the dynamics of the motor and how it works, because usually when people bring you a motor that has rod knock, they've driven it so much. I don't know why people do that, but I swear to God, dude, it seems like every guy does that. Like, oh, I have rod knock. What is this? And then they keep on running the car, posting videos on Facebook. Dude, it's fucking rod knock. Turn it off and take it somewhere.
Oh, damn. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's got pretty...
Yeah, I got chewed up pretty bad. So what's gonna happen is see, crosshatch? No crosshatch. Number 1. Actually, yeah, number 1. Jeez. Crosshatch. So it's the one with the most material. That's lost the most material. It's not the damaged bearing we just looked at, even though that's obviously not good. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Okay, look. So this is number 5, and this is number 4. You can see crosshatch pattern on number. Can they see?
Yeah, you can see.
Okay. You can see there's literally crosshatching on that, and there's none on this. This actually spun. You can see the number 5 spun as well. You can see that, right?
Yeah, it's like wide.
Okay. And also, usually you can put each other, like put them next to each other. And
it looks like there's a difference between the two.
There is.
I don't know if I'm going crazy, but
no, you are. I mean, you aren't. Walking. Because if you look at over here, you see how there's this tab, the bearing tang. You see that thing?
Yeah.
So if it tries to spin, it can't really go any further than this. And if it does, and it breaks that tang, this thing will be. So when you get a bearing that's spun really bad, this tang's usually missing. Either that, or this bearing is squeezed, and it's oval. So I think this just started rocking, you know, like this. Just started rocking on top and bottom.
Right.
Again, no crosshatch.
Yeah, you can see it.
And if you see here, it's wiped.
And completely smooth.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So see how this guy's loose in there? So usually when you put one of these, when you put a new bearing in there, it's fucking tight. Like tight. Like you have to press it in. Because it's like a little wide like this, so you press it in, the prong like clicks in, like it's almost like a click feel.
And it's secured.
Yeah, it's secured. So like water wetter or something in it. So you can see it's like gunked up in there.
Yeah.
You can take a video from there.
Yeah, it's super gunked up.
I don't know why.
Jeez.
Usable.
Dude, so we're in 5150 right now. This is crazy. Like I said, this is a Prime Evo shop. John Drainus, I think that's his last name. I could have butchered that. He is the mastermind of the 4B11, which is the motor that comes in these guys, the Evo 10. It's just crazy. Like if you guys look how many Evo 10s there are like packed in this place. Like this is like goals as far as like a garage goes. Like, my God, it's insane. Evo 8 is going to be beast when it's done. Stay tuned. I know it's a lot of information. This is also a 4B11 right here that Ronnie just got done building. He told me the 4B11 is just as easy to build as a 4G63. But then again, Ronnie is one of the best mechanics I know as far as information, and he knows really what he's doing. So what's easy to him, I wouldn't consider easy for most people. But I always told myself if I got an Evo, this would be the shop that I'd go to. And actually, when I was tuning my Subaru, this was a high competitor as far as tuning goes. I really wanted to come here, but I went to Yumi Sport just because they're Subaru specific. But the shop was pretty high in my mind too, because John is a very good tuner, has a lot of experience, really specializes in Evos. He does a lot more 10s than the 8s and 9s, but if I were to get like an older one, I would still consider 5150 just because they're really good. And especially because my buddy Ronnie works here too, and I trust his work, and he's a really good mechanic, so I'm pretty stoked on that. Yeah, you could see what's going on there. Alright, so we're getting ready to leave. Look at this, guys. GTR gang, Subaru gang, Porsche gang, another GTR in the back, Evos. Pretty gnarly. These things are so sick. Oh. Alright, so we left 5150. We're kind of driving around looking for food. I don't know if we're going to stop and eat just yet, but I'm really stoked I was able to take you guys there, get a little update on Ronnie's build, and also just be at 5150, because like I said, that was a big shop I wanted to visit, and you guys saw the cars over there. It's pretty gnarly there, and I'm stoked to finally visit it, just because that place has pushed so many boundaries when it comes to Evos and what's possible. I mean, mainly on the Evo 10, the 4B11 motor, but still, it's just gnarly. Alright, just got done eating with Ronnie. Good times. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I'm exhausted, guys. You have no idea. I went to go eat and I'm just full and tired. Alright, so I'm currently editing the video you guys are watching right now. I realized I never closed it out. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me. Hope you guys enjoyed that random visit to 5150 Racing, and I hope to make this trip the first of many Evo videos, and obviously more updates with Ronnie's build coming soon. It's going to be so exciting that you guys are following the whole motor build process, and when he puts that thing on the dyno, it's gonna make some power, and it's gonna be a fun video. So as always, a huge shout out to all you guys who come back every single day to watch updates with the cars, lifestyle, everything. I just hope that you guys enjoy everything, and I really enjoy making videos for you guys, and I hope that whatever reason you guys get something out of it that's maybe positive or maybe applicable to your guys' life and inspire you in some type of way. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button, help share the video, drop a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.